hello. Oh my God, that's like View Cinema when you go and the film's about to start, all the lights dim and it's just dark. And then that voice comes out and he's like, hello, everyone jumps. They're like, oh God, wasn't expecting that, even though I've been to the cinema and I know the drill. And he's like, fun, isn't it? How little darkness refines the senses. Every time I jump, every time I'm scared, but I know it's coming. Anyway, I digress. Hi, I'm Rachel Eliza. This is the Woman Weapon podcast. And I just want to say I'm sorry for the 4 people who I know are my audience. I do appreciate those 4 people. And yeah, so with me, it's been an interesting old few months. But we're at a point now where we're thriving. But let's cut to the chase because it's bloody lockdown 2.0. And there's things that can be learned from the first lockdown. There's many a thing. Let's just have a chat because it's lockdown 2.0. And for some people, it's going to be a lot more difficult this time than the last one. For me, I'm in such a privileged position. Like the last lockdown, it was basically a fucking holiday for me. I love staying inside. I'm a home person. I spent the beginning of 2020 pushing myself to chat to new people, to get out more, to do things that made me feel very uncomfortable. But, the growth, that's when that happens. I spent, the solid January, February, little bit of March doing that, and then boom, lockdown. And I let myself get into such a comfortable state. And I really enjoyed it. But for me, I'm very fortunate that I could go home to my parents' house, that there's a room for me there, that there's a roof over my head, that my mum can order in from the supermarket. I literally didn't go to the supermarket once throughout that whole period of time. And I'm so lucky to be in that position. Now I'm in a completely different position. The way that my life has changed since before the previous lockdown to being in lockdown to now going into a second lockdown. I've moved from North London to South London. I've been living with people who I didn't know before I moved in with them. I have had new opportunities, I've had new experiences, and I've got a completely different mindset on this second lockdown. I think what I really have realised since the last lockdown is that we've all grown a lot. And I've had this conversation with so many people, and you have to really commend yourself, give yourself a pat on the back, because this shit has been tough, this shit has been hard. It's like an episode of Black Mirror. It is going to be very difficult for people this time round too. I think we need to be checking up on our friends, of course. We need to be checking in with ourselves. And we need to be doing things every single day that make us feel more grounded. And don't be so hard on yourself. I definitely was not very hard on myself in the last lockdown, and that helped me tremendously. There was also things that I had planned to do with my day. Like for me, setting a schedule, having a routine was something that really was effective for me and my mood and my levels of positivity. And so I think it's really important to implement something like that. I'm really, really lucky that at the moment I live right on this massive park and it's beautiful. So I know every day what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out into the park, I'm going to have a walk, see the nature and get some fresh air, listen to a podcast, listen to some good uplifting music. And that's going to make me feel better. It's probably going to be something that I'm going to need to push myself to do most days, but it's going to make me feel good. So that's something that I'm going to be doing. And like I said, implementing a routine. So this won't work for everyone, but it really does wonders for me. I'm going to get up, go on a walk. I'm going to be working on my projects because I've had projects. This is a project. And I started working on projects in the last lockdown to then come out of lockdown, have life be in a bit of a shambles, and then just stop working on those things. And during that period of time when there was a lot of, what's the word? I was just stationary. I was doing nothing towards any of my goals, any of my dreams, any of my projects, which I told myself that I really wanted to work on, which I do really want to work on. But because there was that period of everything being a bit upside down, everything being a bit unknown, a bit uncertain, I let myself just stop, fall out of the things that I planned to do, which is okay, because now I'm in this position where I'm like, okay, now I have a whole month of time, and I'm going to utilize that for my projects and the things that I really want to get done. This doesn't work for everyone, and like, it's certainly not a productivity contest, but I know that that's what works for me. And just having a purpose really helps me like get up earlier, feel uplifted, feel like when there's targets to hit and things to be working towards, not even necessarily every single day, but when there is little attainable goals to be achieved, that's something that really helps me feel uplifted, feel positive, and get going with the things that I've always wanted to do. Like, I'm sure people have things that they've really wanted to do, but they've never necessarily had the time to go about and do them. Now is the time. If you're fortunate enough to not be working, I mean, okay, you're fortunate to be working, but unemployment central here. So I'm talking about having time. Let's be honest, I had the time before unemployed, but oh well, we'll just start again now. If you are able to work from home, and it means that you're not commuting to and from where you were working, then you can use those hours and those periods of time to be working on the projects that you really want to get done, or the things that you've really wanted to be starting. And if, yeah, you're like me, unemployment zone, zone 1, then you can use this time to start those things. If you're someone who is having to go out and still work, fair play. Let's give them a round of applause. And I think those people equally are also quite privileged in this time. Like, I have friends who work at supermarkets, and I'm thinking, I bet you're really grateful for your job right now. When everyone else, I know there's been a lot of people who've been let go from work. There's been a lot of people who are unsure about whether their job is still going to be there come December. And those people who have been able to work at supermarkets and being able to actually work in the places that are necessity, the places that are still open, I bet they're grateful, and I bet that they are very thankful that they still have that opportunity. So, you know, it's all blessed. That's great. Good for you. But that's not bitter. I'm just saying, I'm unemployed for the 5th time, and I'm going to use my time to just do a bit of me. But regardless of whether you are choosing to work towards things, it's not wasted time. As long as, like, you're waking up, you're blessed. That's not wasted time. It's all good. I'm just saying that for me, I'm someone that when I'm working towards things, it does make me feel more accomplished and more like, yeah, things aren't the same, and things are definitely not where we wanted them to be in 2020, but I can still make the most of situations right now. For me as well, it's going to be important to log off from being on social media so much. Like, we have a month set lockdown, which will likely to be extended. Incorrect grammar, which is likely to be extended. But I'm going to use those 4 weeks to be not on my phone as much, working on the things that I want to be doing, using my energy in a way that's going to benefit me to make me feel better. Logging off from social media is going to be easily done for me because we're off the Wi-Fi for 10 days. So I don't really have a choice, but you know, that's not the point. That's not the point. I was going to do it anyway. So it's like more of a sign that now we don't have Wi-Fi for 10 days. But yeah, I think that's all for me, to be quite frank with you. I fell off the bandwagon. I did. Do I regret it? No. But is that making me then knuckle down even more? Yeah. So I'm Rachel Eliza. This is not Rachel Eliza's YouTube. It is Woman Weapon, because the purpose of this was for me to have conversations with other women about basically things that we need to be talking more about. like taboo subjects, for example, or just even like girl chats. You feel like it's just a bunch of friends, you know, just talking about either funny situations or awkward things or things that we all go through as women, which really need to be spoken about more. And I think particularly in this period of time, there are so many things that need to be actually put out there more so that people who are viewing the content can have more of an education, more of an understanding of all of these things that women go through and how women deal with them in their own ways. This is the Woman Weapon podcast. Woman, you're a weapon. Don't you fucking forget it, because we do. We doubt ourselves. And self-doubt has been the thing that stopped me from going after my goals. When I say I was in a bit of a mess for a couple weeks or a month or so, and then I let that affect the things that I knew I really wanted to be doing, and I let that period of time where I was very stagnant, I let that creep into my mindset, and I let that allow me to doubt myself so much. Stop doubting yourself. Like, start before you're ready, because you can change shit. Start your business. Obviously, times now will be quite difficult, but if you had the means to, and if you want to just put something out there and you want to start something, if you want to start like a dance class, if you want to start, I don't know, whatever it could be, just do it before you're ready and remind yourself that you are capable and you can fucking do it. Because as women, we doubt ourselves way too much, and we are more than capable. And I really think that if you have the idea and if you have something that is really setting your soul on fire that you want to do so badly, then there's a reason for that. And you're almost being called to carry out that thing. And so you just got to do it. Otherwise, you're going to spend a period of time with this goal in mind, with this thing that makes you excited. If you're doubting yourself so much, you're not going to be working towards it. And then that idea is just going to leave you and it's going to go to someone else. Someone's at the door. Bitch! Just got, oh, don't want to be showing my bloody address, do I? Just got some packages. I thought that was my housemate. It was the Amazon delivery man. He told me to have a lovely day. I said, you too, love. Let's go to a little like unboxing. And yeah, because I found matte white printer paper. Then we've got grommets, I believe these are called. It's where the cord comes out. There's like a metal ring. That's what a grommet is. So it's also a textiles class today. But yeah, not the most exciting of deliveries. But there you go. That's that. And that's me. I'm Rachel Eliza. This is the Woman Weapon podcast. I hope that someone somewhere has taken something from this and that you have a great day. See you soon.